Look around the room you are in right now. Look at the corners, where the wall meets the ceiling, where the baseboard disappears behind the furniture, the space behind the door you never fully open. No webs, no small brown shape retreating into shadow. Clean, clear, under control. You swept those corners out weeks ago or months, and nothing has come back, and you have felt, ever since, a quiet satisfaction about it. Stop there, because before you hold on to that satisfaction, there is something worth understanding about what a corner without a web actually means, and what has been quietly disappearing along with the webs. Today we're going to look at what house spiders actually do inside your home, and why the instinct that has kept your corners clear may have been working against you all along. What most people picture when they think of a dangerous spider is not what lives in the corners of your home. The common house spider, Parasteatota tepidariorum, is a small, mottled brown creature, rarely more than 6 or 7 millimeters long, that builds cobwebs in the junctions of walls and ceilings, behind appliances, along the paths that pipes and wiring trace through interior spaces. It is not a brown recluse. It is not a black widow. It belongs to a different family entirely, the cobweb spiders, the Theridiidae, and it has lived in human structures so consistently and for so long that it is now found on every inhabited continent on Earth. It colonized the world not through wilderness or migration, but by living inside us, inside our walls, inside the structures we built and heated and lit and filled with food. It did not move into your home by accident. Your home is the specific habitat this creature has evolved, over thousands of years of close proximity to human habitation, to occupy. She has been in human walls since humans built the first ones, in granaries and longhouses, in every form of permanent shelter across human history. The Theridiidae are among the oldest spider lineages on Earth. Her ancestors were building webs long before our ancestors were building walls. The fear, when it arises, is almost always about the bite. People see a spider, any spider, in any room, and the mind goes to the same place. It is worth being direct about this. The common house spider virtually never bites. Documented cases result in localized redness and mild irritation, roughly equivalent to a bee sting, and almost always only when the spider has been directly compressed against skin, held, squeezed, trapped. It has no interest in biting you. You are not food to it, and it cannot consume you. The spiders that produce the medically significant wounds people fear, the recluses, the widows, are distinct species with distinct behaviors, distinct habitats, and distinct web architectures. The spider in your corner is not in that category, and it has never been. The fear has simply never tracked the actual risk. Now, here is where the real story begins. She builds her web with precision, even if the result looks, to your eye, like chaos. Cobwebs are not the random accumulation of silk that years of casual observation might suggest. She locates her web at the specific nodes of your home's insect traffic, where walls meet floors, where pipes and heating ducts enter rooms, near baseboards and window frames, in the undisturbed space behind a door, low in a garage corner. She is reading the landscape of your home the way a hunter reads terrain. She builds where things move. The web itself is three-dimensional, a tangle of threads in multiple planes, not flat, and its lower level contains a structure that most people walking past would never notice. Gumfoot threads run from the base of the web to the floor below, stretched under tension, anchored at the bottom. When an insect contacts one of these threads, the thread snaps free from the floor. It carries the insect up into the tangle above. The struggling pulls more silk around it. She is already moving, out from her retreat along the web toward the vibration. She reaches it before it can orient. She bites. She wraps it in binding silk. She returns. The gumfoot thread re-anchors to the floor and waits. What she is catching in your home, night after night, is not incidental. It is the full inventory of insects moving through your living spaces in darkness. Flies, mosquitoes, silverfish, which are eating the paper in your stored documents, the binding glue in your books, the starch in your clothing. Cockroach nymphs, barely visible, translucent, smaller than a grain of rice, moving through the crevices in your kitchen walls before they reach the stage where you actually notice them. ants traveling along baseboards, clothes moths heading for your closets. She is intercepting this traffic continuously, without switching off, without needing replacement, and entirely for free. Silently, continuously, for free. Let that settle for a moment. The cockroach nymph she catches in March does not become the adult crossing your kitchen counter in July. The mosquito she intercepts at her web near the window at midnight does not land on your child's arm at 2 a.m. The flies she stops before they reach your kitchen are not landing on the surfaces where your food is prepared. This is not hypothetical. This is the population dynamic your home has been running silently every night a house spider was present and working. It is not a pest. It is a guardian. And you have been clearing her out. No pesticide operates continuously. A spray applied to your baseboards in September has a functional residue window of days or weeks. Then it is gone as a deterrent, but the chemical remains in your home, on surfaces near the floor, on the ground where your children sit, in the air column that a crawling toddler breathes. No trap is positioned at every access point. No human monitoring system covers the space behind the refrigerator, the gap where the heating pipe enters the wall, the dark base of a rarely opened cabinet. She is positioned at all of these, all the time. No spray reaches those spaces as reliably as she does. No trap hunts as precisely. There is one more dimension to this. Researchers studying arthropod communities in residential homes, the actual inventory of insects and invertebrates living inside our houses, have found that house spiders are among the most consistently present predators in domestic environments, appearing in the overwhelming majority of sampled homes across a range of geographies and building types. Research published in the journal PeerJ, examining the full arthropod inventory of residential homes, found that cobweb spiders were present in nearly 2/3 of all rooms sampled, positioned specifically in the high traffic zones where prey species move. She is not an accidental visitor. She is a structural component of your home's interior ecosystem, the predator layer. When that layer is removed, it does not disappear as a concept. It is simply vacant. The prey remains. An absence of house spiders in your home is information. It means one of two things. Either you have been actively removing them, clearing webs, killing or displacing spiders on site, and the predator layer is gone while the insects it was managing are not. Or the environment inside your home has become inhospitable to them through regular pesticide application to baseboards and wall junctions, through a cleaning frequency that disrupts websites before they can be established. In that second case, the chemistry that drove them out is still present in your living space. You eliminated the spider. The residue stayed. The insects found other routes. Neither of these is the outcome the effort was designed to produce. The practical guidance here is specific. Leave the cobwebs in the corners, baseboards, and spaces behind furniture that you do not see or use regularly. The web in that corner is not evidence of disorder. It is evidence that something is working. If a web is genuinely in the way, relocate the spider with a glass and a piece of card. She will rebuild within a day or two. Stop applying pesticide to baseboards and wall junctions if your goal is to have fewer visible insects. You are treating the exact location she uses, dismantling the only predator structure your home's interior has. The small shape near the pipe gap, the cobweb behind the bookcase, the web in the corner you sweep every few weeks, these are not problems. They are solutions already running. The spider you cleared out last month was not an intrusion. She was resident. She was working. She was catching the things moving through your home at night that you never saw, because she was catching them before you had reason to. The web you swept away was the reason you did not find a cockroach in your kitchen that week. The reason the mosquito that came in through the screen gap never reached your bedroom. The reason the silverfish in your hallway closet stayed at a level you never noticed. Her absence does not mean those things are gone. It means they are moving freely. Leave her there. Have you ever found a house spider web that was clearly active, full of wrapped prey, positioned precisely where insects travel, maintained and rebuilt after being disturbed? Tell me what you found in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to understand another creature working quietly through your home at night, doing a job you have never thought to credit it for, the next video will take you somewhere most people have never thought to look.